Hi there, Malcolm here with my 206th Booktube video, and today I'll be bringing you my book of the month for November, which is Start a Villain by John Scalzi. Pretty early last year I read the Kaiju Preservation Society, the first book I ever read by John Scalzi. Absolutely loved it, and so when the opportunity to read another book by his came up, I said, yep, absolutely, let me at it. So I went into this with a pretty good idea that I was going to absolutely love it, and I did. However, the slight disappointment I have with it, and it is only a slight one, is that structurally this is almost beat for beat exactly the same as the Kaiju Preservation Society. Basically, a man gets thrust into a world he is not familiar with as fish out of water, and a sequence of events pushes him along to an inevitable conclusion. And then there's a final twist at the end where a final thing happens and revelations are made. Yeah, I could be talking about either book. Now I know obviously there are loads of stories which do fall under that one umbrella, but I couldn't help but feel there are glaring similarities in the story style between the two books. Now, so even though this does get full marks from me, I couldn't help but notice that it felt very, very similar. Anyway, with that being said, the story is about a guy called Charlie whose recently deceased uncle bequeaths him his criminal enterprise. Now, Charlie's a substitute teacher, and so therefore no stranger to danger, but suddenly he's thrust into a world where he is really not the best experienced at, and pretty much stuck at the helm of this enterprise as the one and only heir. And yes, there is a volcano layer as well. Now, what is great about John Scalzi books is you kind of think, okay, I can see where this is going, and then it doesn't. It does do something slightly different, which is always nice and refreshing. And I found the character of Charlie very likeable and relatable. I have been a substitute teacher myself, but unlike Charlie, I haven't been involved in any organised or unorganised crime for that matter. No secret volcano layers for me that I know about. However, Charlie doesn't have to do this alone. There is an aide who works closely with his uncle and knows all the ins and outs of the trade, and so helps Charlie along to get integrated into his new life, as it were, as well as fleshing out the influence of cats that supervillains seem to be fond of having as a familiar. The cats turn out to be super intelligent, capable of communicating, and indeed run much of the enterprise themselves. They are not the only super intelligent animal in this organisation. Who knew that dolphins could be quite so foul-mouthed? Loved the dolphin scenes. I bet the story follows Charlie as he goes from one crisis to the next, falling ever deeper down the criminal mastermind rabbit hole, and a series of events unfold, resulting in a lot of screaming and running away. It works for Kaiju Preservation Society, and it works for Start a Villain. At 262 pages, it doesn't stay its welcome. It does exactly what it needs to do, and John Scalzi seems to be particularly good at cramming a lot of story into not that many pages. We do get a bonus short story as well, featuring the cats, which was a nice little bonus too. Now, it claims on the front that it's laugh out loud funny. I can verify that fact. It is laugh out loud funny at times. Not always. It's not a rip-roaring, every single page is a gut-buster, but there are certainly plenty of giggles and laughs throughout, and this was indeed booktastic. I think I preferred Kaiju purely because of the theme of it, but this was a very good close run-up to it. And certainly I'd be very keen to get my hands on any more John Scalzi, who is fast becoming one of my new favourite authors. So there you go, Start a Villain. Have you read it? Have you read anything else by John Scalzi? Comments down below, please. As usual, if you're nothing nice to say, then please keep it to yourself. Thank you. And until next time, see you later.